For centuries, we have been taken advantage of. Now it is our turn to demand pleasure.
Yeah. So
Hi, and welcome to another episode of A Drink with
Mary,
and Meena. Keep pani dikhaude. Proud.
I'm so proud of this. It's too hot for me to drink anything but water and beer or gin and tonic. So it's a bit too early for that.
Yeah. I mean, this is the first drink of my day, so it has
Let's
to
start
be coffee.
the day right. It's by the way 11 in the morning. It's a bit late start for us, to be honest.
But we've got beautiful donuts today, though. Ooh, ooh.
On more don't look.
This is. Do you know why? No. Do you know why I chose this donut?
Why? Because it looks like a vagina.
Basically fits our topic of the day.
Okay.
But before we start,
It looks like a vagina with a tampon on it.
yeah, or something else. Before we start, I don't know whether you've noticed or not noticed. I know we didn't have a video out on the 8th. That's because we're taking a break from making the 2 videos that we put out in addition to our 3 podcasts. I think it's getting a bit too much. Plus, I'm finally starting my studies and going back to my exams.
If you go back to our first podcast episode for this year, she was like, I'm gonna do this. It's happening. Okay, it's happening.
It's happening.
She's gone back to exams. Only me personally have a lot of family commitments this month. I've got weddings on weddings on weddings. I just I am happy for my friends and family, but at the same time it's draining, bro.
Yeah.
So that's why we don't have it. Hopefully we'll get back soon enough. And we are planning the event-ish that we talked to you about. So that's what's keeping us occupied as well. So one person can only wear enough hats. You've only got one head, to be fair. So
we'll pull out the details soon. Yeah.
Hence why.
We, in essence or in short, we basically don't have time for the 2 extra videos for the month.
Yeah, basically. So that's that, because that takes longer to edit and plan as well. So podcast is much more easier and we can be more of ourselves, I think.
Yeah.
Hence today's topic, yoni.
I don't know. We thought we would compensate for the lack of. So
for the lack of content with some juicy content for you.
Juicy.
It's been a while. Our first ever podcast was about sex podcast, and that drew a lot of people onto our podcast because they were like, whoa, people are talking about it, you know.
Honestly.
Yeah. And then we've had few episodes where we've talked about sex briefly and, you know, talked about like intimacy and stuff like that briefly, but not in much detail. We actually tried to find some people to talk with us about female pleasures, orgasms and whatnot with us, although we did have a candidate, but they didn't want to come on camera, I believe. And it does make sense.
It's very hard. It's very hard to find women from our community to come and openly talk about female orgasm.
To be fair, even women from not our community, it's quite difficult for people to actually talk about it. Thought, I don't know why it should be as common as men applauding them busting the nut. If I should say it casually, I know. But hey ho, we're here now. So Minaji.
While sucking my thumb, Meena ji, I was like, what's the question?
How do you say orgasm in Nepali? Yon. No. This is called Charmasruk.
No. Charamsukh. No, I don't know. Something.
I think that's Sanskrit. Charmasuk or something. Okay, something along the line. Please correct us. Let us know if you actually know it. So when did you actually experience your first orgasm? How old were you? Tell me the details.
Cannot exactly remember when. Actually, you know what? You know how it goes. So when you have never had sex, you don't know what it's like, and especially in a community where sex talks and what it should be like, what it should feel like is so hush-hush. You don't really know I think everybody just goes into it thinking, oh, it's just penis going in and out of vagina and that's
I
it.
feel like sex is glamorized for men because they always come. But for women, it's different either. And half of the women who have not been pleasured by the partner go there thinking sex is just that.
I'm supposed to feel ha.
No, or they just think sex is just for men and you're just there as a device here. Like you're literally a object for them to ejaculate on.
But yeah, I just didn't know what to expect out of it. So I think for years with my first two partners, with the first two boyfriends, I wasn't feeling much. I would say, okay, let's get it done and dusted with kind of feeling.
Yeah.
Until I would say the most pleasure that I've felt was when my boyfriend first went down on me.
Okay.
I think that was like, oh my God.
Wait, your first two partners never went down on you?
No, my second boyfriend went down on me.
So when you're like, what? This is feel?
Yeah, they went down on no, not they.
Gangbang shit.
He just very unexpectedly, and this was, I think, we have had sex for like quite a lot of years. I think because the relationship was failing, he was trying to somehow revive it.
Yeah.
I guess so. He just suddenly one day went down on me, and I was like, oh my God, like what's happening?
Yeah.
And then all thoughts went out the window because I felt this intense pleasure.
Yeah.
And I was like, and he was sucking on my clitoris, to be precise, and I was like, oh,
what is this?
Like,
keep doing it.
Excuse me, just don't stop.
Yeah. I hate when they change the tempo.
Oh.
So you're like very close enough for me personally. So when you're like very close and they're just like, obviously you're like, I'm very verbal, so you're verbally telling, not verbally telling them, my moans are very verbal enough. And then they change the tempo, and then I literally go back to square one. I can never pick it up from there. Like it's zero. So you're basically getting nothing out of it. Yeah. Okay, carry on with the story.
Yeah. So and then, but he stopped, obviously.
Ah!
So I was like, since then, I haven't turned back. I'm like, okay, I now know what sex is supposed to feel like for me. So I would want things for me as well. So until now, I was like, okay, let's get it done and dusted. We're supposed to be having sex while we're in a relationship, whether I enjoy it or not. Okay. I mean, not gonna lie, it's not that I hated it and not enjoyed any part of it. Sometimes when he would, before I knew how pleasure should be for women, I would enjoy it every now and then, but not all the time, you know. And that would be by accident, okay? Accidentally, he would hit the spot, and that would be it. But once I discovered what sex should be like us, I was like, why the hell am I a participant in this and still not having fun?
Yeah, thank you. Like, thank you. Women should actually step up. Like, I don't think if you don't say, you don't really get. It depends on your partner as well, to be fair, how open they are, how willing they are. But regardless of that, if they want to have sex with you, they need to pleasure you as well.
They need to consider your side as well, like not just not and go.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. I think I was very young when I experienced my first orgasm. I think I said it on our first ever podcast on sex expectations, where
That's because you masturbated, didn't you?
Yeah. So I started masturbating when I was really young, I said 15. So that's how I knew, like, okay, this is what it should feel like. But regardless of that experience, I didn't know, like, with my first partner, I'd say sex should be this one, okay? So I really thought, like, pornography and everything, I knew they were acting. So I just thought this just happens in porn, and there was no relevance of, you know, like Asian big women at that time. So you were just like, oh, maybe it's because of me and my body, how it works. I am not able to be like that. And let's be honest, it's just very amplified, everything in pornography, you know.
And in porn, girls have like banging bodies.
Yeah.
I'm like, where show some real woman, man.
Now they've actually done it. I think it's been a decade now. But we were talking this like a decade ago. Right? Oh my god, I'm 27. A decade ago, man, 9 plus. But anyhow, I didn't know any better than that. But after that, my first boyfriend and we were like, very PG calque. Like we'd have sex, but it was just like very vanilla sex. That's just a missionary, standard, basic, no fun, no much foreplay. It was just like there was a
what is foreplay? When it's the first time having sex, what is foreplay?
No, there's someone said there was foreplay. I would have to give credit, but it wasn't like oral sex wasn't involved basically.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there was foreplay and everything, but no oral sex. And then came like my second boyfriend. We had like decent sex, I think, but I never orgasmed. It's probably because I never orgasmed with penetration.
Yeah.
So that's most of the women actually. It's not just a few women. It's just a lot of women that don't orgasm with penetration.
Yeah.
And but I think it just takes the right person to actually do it, to figure your body out. Because every woman's body is different, and then the way you penetrate is different as well. So my first ever, like coming back to the topic, my first ever orgasm was when I was 15, and that was by myself. But with a partner, I actually don't remember. Like I had it, but I actually don't remember like a very type of. Okay. I remember with like my recent ex-boyfriend, we had like a very great sex chemistry, and I think it was him that I've actually orgasmed with penetration, nobody else. So we've had like too many moments, so I don't actually remember like have a highlight moment. But I think the first one was definitely the highlight.
Oh,
interesting.
Yeah, I do second that. Like, not a lot of women orgasm by penetration.
No,
I mean, yeah, when he hits the spot, you do feel that sensation, but you want more. And more doesn't get achieved by just penetration. Okay? Like, you have to do something more.
It's just too many stimulations for me.
Yeah.
I need like stimulations everywhere for me to orgasm from penetration. Yeah?
And I personally feel like if he's penetrating for too long, it gets annoying. I feel like
Do you know? You're not the first person who says that, and I second that too. More like I feel like anything tops 20 minutes is too long for me, like penetration wise. Okay, foreplay, everything, yeah, I get it. But when people are fucking for hours, men think that's like a great thing. And nah, man, my legs are tired. Let me sleep.
My back hurts from arching too much.
Even if you're just doing missionary, or not. Your legs are tired.
I know. I think you guys need to know that when we're in a missionary position, when we're on the bottom, and when our legs are out, like the groin and the legs, they get so tired, and I'm like, I know you're doing the most of the job at the minute, but I'm here just like, imagine if you sit like this for like 20 minutes, wouldn't it hurt? Like,
it's literally like a human therapy. I honestly have to agree. Like, I'm not a very big fan of long sex sessions, and men just saying, I'm gonna do this to you and all the bullshit. Like, just show it to me. Don't say it, show it. Like, I'm not here for your BS, kid. Just say it. Hey, don't say it, just show it to me. What have you got? Like, show me your skills.
But how long would you like sex to be though? Like, from foreplay to finishing?
I feel like I'm very much of a spontaneous person in terms of that. Okay? So I personally actually prefer lovemaking one than like, obviously passionate ones are really great enough.
Yeah.
That are like a very quickie, playful one. Okay, not quickie as in like just busting up like, but as long as you both hit the pleasure spot, and if it's between like 20 minutes max, including the pleasure, I'm more than happy with that. Like, I don't need that BS drama.
Is that the same with a new boyfriend though? When, like, initially when the passion is there.
Do you know, I honestly would rather have multiple rounds rather than having one round
Long session.
and then over. Okay, like, I don't know. I need more than that. Because women, we orgasm a lot, neither. Whereas men, they just do it once.
Yeah.
So I feel like the need of having to have multiple orgasms comes from there for me.
So apparently, no, this is what boys have told me. Yeah. Apparently, men, once they ejaculate, they cannot get it up for another how many
hours?
Hours, Mandalini. I've been told about half an hour to hour. Okay.
It's different.
But probably depends on everybody.
It depends on person. Like, I've had a partner who's like literally come back up from dead. Come back up from dead within like few hours or not even like an hour. So it depends on the person. But honestly, it's just I personally prefer short rounds multiple times than one long session. I ain't that girl. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Because you're doing nothing to me in that 2 hours. You're just doing everything to yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard work as well. I'm sorry. It's hard work. Like,
I keep popping, like, these questions keep popping out. I feel like I know many kind of session. How long has been your longest session?
Good question. 45 minutes? And that was too long for me. I was bored. I'm sorry, like, I might have fallen asleep. But I was bored. I'm just like, what am I doing here? After that, I was just like, okay, I'm not a big fan of this one. I was just like, okay, that's it.
Aww.
We just ended. I don't think we even like finished because I was just not with it. I lost interest at that point.
That's the thing, right? Hey, though, when it's gone for too long, orgasm like has come and gone. Like not orgasm, but the feeling, the intense sensation that leads to orgasm comes and it goes. Yeah, like it goes, and it's like you're like I'm not interested in this anymore now.
Yeah, I don't even entertain that. Oh, okay, you liking it, so I will do it. If I don't like it, I'm really sorry, I'm not liking this anymore. So after that, we had like sort of feedback, and then next time it was a lot better.
That's another thing. I think it's very important for couples to sit down and feed back to each other what went good and what went down. Diwash and I do that. Okay? We have been doing that right from the start. Okay? Because our sex life, we've been together for 4 years, right? Initially, it was just passionate, so it was good.
Yeah.
And then as relationship goes on, in the middle it kind of be like, this is the same old shit.
Yeah. It just feels mundane.
Yeah. And now it's reviving again because we're like trying new things, doing, helping, but we also know more about each other's body now.
Yeah.
And then so he's guided me with whenever I'm doing things with his penis, and then I've guided him whenever he's touching me down there or going down on me. So it's actually better now.
Yeah, I feel like not just couples. To be fair, just and generally anyone. I think if you're having sex, especially as a woman, you need, and a man as well, you need to tell your partner what do you like and what do you not, because the whole purpose of having sex is for pleasure, right?
Yeah.
But if there is no pleasure involved, then why are you even having it?
You will get stuck in the cycle where, I think it's a bit too late to say it now. Or if I hadn't said it in the first place, now it's what's the point now type goes. And if you haven't said it right at the start.
I think if you're having like your pleasure is not worth all that anxious doubts or whatever.
Marshmallow.
In my opinion. But yeah, I agree with you. With my previous partner, we were dating for like 4 years as well, I guess. So when was this, 2017, I guess? I think around about 2017, I got diagnosed with PCOS. So when I got diagnosed with PCOS, my libido just fell off. So I was not as horny as, sexually I wanted it as much. Okay? And we were like pretty much regular at that point. Like we both were, our sex drive was just like matching back to back. Okay? I've never had that before. Eh? And then we were like, whoa. But then all of a sudden it just fell off, like slowly. And then he noticed it because he was like, because obviously he was the only guy who I had penetrative orgasm. So he was like, what's going on, what's happening, is this stuff, but never really had the you're not, never really made me feel like it was my fault. He was more of like, what more can I do to make you feel better? Okay? And I really applaud that. And he got me a toy because he was just like, I can't just be having pleasure by myself and I can't give it to you. I understand that. And
Diwash got me a toy just because of that as well.
Yeah. So he's like, I can't. So he got me a toy. I think she's 6 years running now, still running. We've had a lot of other toys after that. No, but I think that one's still my favorite one. So I've kept that one. The others I've just sort of like discarded, to be fair.
Yeah. So, right, moving on to sex toys. Now that you've mentioned it,
and the toy was amazing. It's still like to this day. Honestly, like my sister was like, "He's a 10." I've got
yeah.
So she was like sort of saying like, "Oh, so how was he?" Type go this new guy, la la la, whatever. This is someone like. And I'll just say like 7 or 6 or 8. And she's like, why not 10? And I'm like, no one comes next to a toy. If your woman has a vibrator, I'm sorry, no one can give that amount of pleasure to her. You can't even. 10 of you can't even get.
But don't take it personally though, because us and vibrators, we have like a different bond, no?
Yeah, I think it's.
Plus, we're doing it to ourselves, so we know our body best. So we're touching wherever it feels the best.
I guess like with the person it's different because you've got a lot of emotions or whatever involved rather than just an object.
And it's less hassle to communicate. Oh, touch me down there. Yeah, you do this, do that. Nah. Your vibrator is doing it for you because you're doing it for you.
Like, nah, not you. Not today. One didn't matter. Okay. And it's fun if you take it to bed with your partner. There's like I'm personally a big fan of that. I'm personally a big fan of you're in the team together type of person. So yeah, go for it. Like there's so many couple sex toys out there. There's like cock rings that is for both male and female.
I remember the cock ring you gave us.
I gave you a cock ring.
You know, when we were recording the first podcast about sex, like the sex podcast, that was when we were on a downhill. Because we were like right in the second year of our relationship. And that was when if you go back and listen to that sex podcast, it sounds like our sex life is very dull. It definitely sounds like, because it was at that point. That's when we started.
Because I was like, you don't give any type of...
Yeah. And then...
Sorry, can I have a tissue and to get my gum out? With the paper then. Sorry, guys.
But I think that podcast was a good feedback session for us as well. So we spoke about it and he was like, okay, let's try something else. Let's get sex toy banana. And we were looking at things and this is really nice. It's nice when boys or men do it's it's nice when men do these kind of stuff. It was like, I want a sex toy that's completely about your pleasure. So we got, I actually have it with me here.
She's got a little bag.
It looks like this.
It's a womanizer.
It's a womanizer.
Yeah.
So it basically, I need to turn it on. And then it
She's
goes,
like so happy. She's like, my chomsuk moment. That's what's called chomsuk.
Have you seen the intensity?
Yeah. No, I know because I own a womanizer too. Mine's bigger than that actually.
Oh, is it?
It's really big.
But you know what? I need to turn this off. Come on.
Yeah.
So basically, if you guys don't know what a womanizer is, this is basically purely to vibrate and suck your clitoris. And this was my first ever sex toy, and then I tried it and I was like, oh my god. And then even with sex toys you get better and better and better and better.
Sorry, I'm just having a very it looks like semen. I feel like it's very milky. Dude, I'm having doubts. So yeah, go on, carry on with it.
And then even with sex toys you get better and better and better and better. And then sometimes we use this together, but most times it's just me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like quite happy with it. Whenever I'm missing him or whatever, then I just use my sex toy and that's it. But what was your what type of sex toys have you got?
Because this is when you know I'm very freaky.
Doesn't matter.
Okay, I didn't bring my sex toys because plural. Because for obvious reasons, that's very personal to me, you know. That I will say what I have, and what I had in the past. First ever was a bullet one, so it was really tiny. You could take it everywhere. On Dupachi, I had a cock ring, so that's more for me and my partner. And then the tongue on the cock ring was a bit long, so essentially your clitoris is being vibrated
while he was penetrating you.
Because so that was one of them. I'm thinking womanizer. She's 6 years running. She's still strong. Honestly, it's worth an investment. It's like 100 something, actually 169. It's quite expensive.
Mine was like 70 quid.
Yeah, I guess that works fine too.
But they was bought it for me, so I don't.
Yeah, it was a present for me as well, so I don't really care. Thank you. 6 years running, worth the investment. And so that's that. We had a electric, but then womanizer you can't really use. There's only certain positions you can use that on when you're with a partner. Again, like you can't. It's not really flexible. So we had a vibrator, like a long.
What is this?
No. I haven't had a penetrative toy yet. Okay. So
what's a bullet for then?
Bullet is just for the clitoris. It's really tiny. Okay?
Oh.
So it's like lipstick, just though.
How do you use it?
So you literally just like a womanizer, but womanizer it sucks it. Bullets it sort of just vibrates around it.
Oh,
so
okay.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want with it. Some women like tend to just penetrate on the vagina walls as well, but it's literally just for clitoris purposes. Right?
Okay.
And so that's that. And what else? I think that's it. And I wanted to try anal for some reason, and I had anal beads, but like level 1, 2, 3, like it sort of goes like cone shape, okay? So the more advanced you get, you just trim off the top, so you just have dologo beads, madre. So it's
I've
like
actually never seen anal beads.
Oh, I should have got it, but I'm not a big fan of anal stuff.
Have you got a phone? Can I see what an anal bead looks like?
I have a phone. I have an anal phone.
Sorry guys, we're like literally discovering things as we go along. But if you're listening to this and if you don't know some of the names of the sex toys, feel free to Google photos of it and probably have more context of what we're talking about.
I feel very okay. This is the one that I have.
Oh, hang on a sec. So you put it inside your anus,
basically.
So which is this goes at the top.
So this is the plug. Okay, you can like literally plug it out and plug it in. So essentially with your partner.
We'll put a photo of it on there and what it looks like. Yes. Basically like a long strand with beads on it, and then
so it's got like smallest beads on the front and then the largest beads on the back. So basically, essentially, once you get more pro, you just cut the tip off, so you have like last 2 or last 3, and then essentially, it's sort of like the anal rims it just gives a different sensation. Okay, and apparently it works better when you have a partner as well. So it's like double penetration, but it's not just a stick going on. It's like it's got beads in it, so it sort of gives like a effect. Okay, like ribbed and dotted condoms. Yeah. So they're not just like ordinary condoms. They've got ribs and dots, so it's like extra feeling. So that's what the aim was, right? Now I tried the anal beads on my own because I wanted to, sort of figure out myself if I actually liked it rather than just saying yes to anal sex, and I find it very disgusting as well, like the whole shenanigans. So I douched it and everything and did the anal bead, and still I was like, this is not me. Like I could there was like some, there wasn't necessarily poop, but you just that smell, okay? It's not that disgusting. I don't know. It's just me. My nose is so sensitive, right? And I was just like, nah, this is not for me.
I lack in that department.
Yeah.
I think I'll be all right.
Yeah, I was so sensitive, and I was just like, this is not. I couldn't physically see anything, but I was just like, no, this is not it. Like, so anal beads was one of them.
But at least you gave it a try, right?
Yeah, I gave it a try. So that was it. And after that, I think we. I really don't want to say more about it.
No, you're saying it because, like, the fact that it's already out in your tip of your tongue, that means you're ready to say it, man.
I feel like judgment, but I don't really care.
No, this podcast is not about that.
Yeah, so,
I'm sure our viewers our audience are not about that as well.
So that's the like more of my clitoris penetration side, I guess. I know. So that's out of the way. But I'm very much into mild BDSM as well.
Ooh!
So, I've had, like, not essentially whips, but it's like a whip just but it's like a leather strap. So it's essentially mimicking a belt.
Ooh!
So you can go as hard as you want.
Excuse me, Mary. I have not seen this side of you yet.
Yeah, because you are not welcome to it.
No, like I've not known this side of
Nobody
you.
asked though.
Oh,
like,
okay.
if someone asks me, I always say it, but no one is like very open and honest to ask about why.
But I've always been curious about what it what it feels like though. Like, what are people looking for it when they introduce that kind of stuff into the bedroom? Yeah. So please elaborate.
I actually don't know. It might be, if you're going deep into it psychologically, it's probably a lot deeper. I know, like, it could be I have issues and stuff, but I don't know. I'm not saying. I find cool. I find that pleasurable. So I'm sorry. But it's like literally mimicking a belt, but it's not at the same time. But I and my previous partner, we tried a couple of times, but I don't think that's really my thing.
Yeah.
So I like the ask my honey and all that, but with the belt, it just sort of felt like I was being way too submissive. Yeah. And that sort of like triggered the feminist side of me, I guess.
Yeah.
So I was just like, I don't know if I like that, because it's not like a playful slap in the ass. It was just like, like pin you down, and.
But would he have been up for getting whipped as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it didn't really
do much for you.
It didn't really feel pleasurable. We were just like, why are we doing this? So we were just exploring. This is what I mean. Yeah, I'm very like a curious cat in terms of everything.
Yeah.
And I explored it, tried a couple of times, but I realized it wasn't my thing. So we just discarded that. Like, it's just if it doesn't give us the purpose, we just discard it. No? And what was that? That was it. That's that. And then we introduced like nipple clamps and stuff. It's like.
Sorry, I feel like I'm too innocent for this podcast now. What's a nipple clamp? What, like just you just pinch the nipple?
Wait, let me show it to you. Oh my god. So that's nipple clamp. So it's basically like peg, right?
Yeah.
So basically it's a peg, but it has chain around it, so you just clamp your nipples.
Okay, let me give you viewers a little visual imagery. It literally looks like the clothes peg, that, and then it's connected with a chain in the middle. So it's literally that. So you literally pop it on.
Yeah. So basically, essentially, you have to be really turned on. Obviously, when you're turned on, your nipples get hard, So it helps women who has a lot of stimulations going on, who needs a lot of stimulations, aka me. So when
it's literally pinching your nipples because
obviously
you want.
Obviously, when they're like having sex and you're in different positions, you can't really have the access to nipples all the time,
because you've only got two hands.
And if I'm being honest, even if I'm on doggy or whatever, my hands are using as support. So you can't really do much, So for those people, it does work.
Who want pleasure from like 4 different places.
Yeah, like when you're greedy, like you have to be greedy, right?
Yeah.
But nipple clamps were too painful. Because essentially you're just clamping your nipples, right?
Literally, yeah. Like, this is one of the things that I hate, like obviously when you're turned on, your nipple gets erect, right?
Uh-huh.
I hate it when my nipples get sucked at that point.
Yeah.
Like, I don't mind
Oh, I
it being
love it.
rubbed, but if like I like it getting sucked to a certain point, but once I'm a bit too into it, I just like don't touch my nipple. So it becomes a little painful.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mother, I just love it. I love nipple pleasures. That's one of my things. Obviously that was so painful, so we had to substitute it with something else.
What did you say?
I feel like
I am loving
episode
this
is gonna
podcast,
be like Mary and her box of toys.
Mary and her trial and error phase.
No, but then you wouldn't know what you like.
But well done for trying it though. Well done. Because
and then after that, bought nipple suctions.
shall I just go behind the camera and be an audience? Like you can...
So this is a nipple suction.
It's basically cops.
Basically, it's a nipple suction. But this didn't work on me because I think I'm like too large on my breast.
Yeah.
So it didn't do the suction purpose. So it was useless. So please don't buy. Trial and test it.
We need to do a video on where we review sex toys.
Yeah. Love honey, hello.
Maybe this will be one of our videos when we actually come back from our break. Look forward to it.
So that was like the nipple shenanigans were over, and then I just realized this is just useless. So tried, tested, nah. So instead of getting nipple clamps, I would suggest you to be frugal and just use like pegs from your mom's back garden, because it literally works the same. Don't be like, fancy shit.
No, really. Don't tell me you guys actually got pegs.
No.
Pegs.
No. I'm just saying it's the same effect.
Okay.
Like it would literally, like
it's trying to mimic somebody pinching your nipples or somebody sucking on it.
Just go for pegs. Honestly, don't spend X amount of whatever money for that fancy looking nipple clamps.
But sometimes these sex toys are like just invented for commercial purposes and not just to have a business out of it.
But to be fair, if you're with a husband or long-term boyfriend, whatever, but if you're like with a new partner, you kind of want to set up ramro things,
Yeah.
So like for example, if you're home, you eat dinner at one plate. From my plate, right?
Yeah.
But if guests come, you have a special plate.
Yeah,
Do you not have that? Like, everyone has that. So it's like sort of.
So you're saying, like people who are living together have like the same budget, and I've just had a family budget meeting and don't have budget for all this. You can just do whatever.
Yeah, and if you're
make do,
like just.
There's no shame in it. There's no shame in it. At the end of the day, the point is you find pleasure using whatever you have.
Exactly. Sustainability at its best, finest. So you just don't purchase things like that. And if you were into whips, just use your belt. Don't purchase a whip. But that was that. I think.
You think? Are you sure there's nothing else that's coming out of the...
I mean, a new package just delivered.
What did you buy this time?
I haven't tried it, so maybe we will have to wait on the next episode to try this.
What is it though?
It's a rabbit. If you don't know,
I've heard of the rabbit.
Yes.
Isn't the rabbit like a dildo that also has a little point at the bottom?
Yeah. So it's basically a G-spot stimulator and a clit stimulator at the same time.
Ooh.
So it's literally every girl's dream, right?
Mate, sometimes when I use womanizer on myself, I have to stop because I just can't go on anymore. I just become so weak from the intense pleasure.
That's the best
I'm like,
part.
like throw the womanizer away.
Have you like squirted with the womanizer before?
Yeah.
There you go. Like a lot of women can squirt with the womanizer. No one has actually, like you're either a squirter or you're either not. Are you a squirter?
I have never been, but recently, because our sex life has become so good, I have.
That's good.
And my boyfriend was like, So basically, right now, this is how our sex session goes, right? I get the pleasure first, then it's his turn.
Mm-hmm.
So it's literally, I am the first person to have intense pleasure, because that makes me, I don't know, I guess a bit rough or wild with him in the second half.
Yeah.
Which is in his advantage as well.
Uh-huh.
So it kind of like, I think, because it doesn't take much for boys to get men.
No.
It doesn't take a lot for men to be erect and horny, right? But for us, it takes a lot to arouse us, okay? And it doesn't only mean physical touch, but it could also mean him doing something nice for you, like what, not in a sexual context, but if he's done something to you, if he's massaged your feet sometimes, if it's rubbing your back sometimes, you know, it I think for me, and especially me seeing him mentally sexual and me seeing him in a good way mentally, that's when my foreplay starts, I guess.
I think that's for most women.
Oh.
That's not just for you, so for most women. More like say, my foreplay, it doesn't have to be physical, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah.
Text messages that do it for me.
Ooh.
So more like say, like if someone says like, oh, you smell nice, you look nice, and I really like this part of your feature, especially like verbally, if someone says it, that's got me wet more than anything else. Like that's wet ass pussy right there. You don't even have to touch anything.
You don't have to.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So that is for me, like when you, like, I don't know, forcefully foreplay with me physically, that is
trying
just
too much.
Such a turn off. And I'm just like, I'm sorry, it's not my mood today.
But Monica, like, yeah, I think what men need to understand is that you don't have to touch us to make us wet.
Yeah.
Like, you could do so many nice things to us without touching us. That could already set you in the run.
It's the eye contact for me as well.
Oof.
Yo, like, when Sunny, not like very cheap, like how they show in the movie, like, it's the no.
Parvert,
like,
not parvy.
not
parvy
just
eye
like
contact.
the very. There is this look, okay? There is this look, and I'm just like done. They look where I'm like, oh my
like
god.
the intense eye contact, especially, okay? Like flirty but not pervert. Okay?
Piercing,
Yeah,
ones.
piercing,
I mean,
as if he's like piercing into your soul. Okay?
Those one, I'm just like, yeah, surrender me, take me now. Bye bye. But doesn't mean like I just go to every Tom, Dick, and Harry.
Yeah,
piercing.
Don't come to me when you meet the social and be like piercing into her eyes.
No, I get turned off as well if someone's trying too hard. That's the biggest turn off for me, and you're legit non-existent at that point. But yeah, that's where were we?
What do you mean? Where were we? We were talking about how they don't have to touch us to turn us on.
Yeah, but okay, this is where we were. But you're right on women having pleasure first than men, because women can orgasm multiple times during a session.
Yeah.
So once you orgasm the first one, you're then opening up to the multiple ones. Hence, you're always wilder. Hence, he'll like it more. Okay?
Yeah.
Because if he is the one who is gonna come first, after you like masturbate, ejaculate, come, whatever you want to call it,
we're like
you're literally like flopping out,
unsatisfied,
and then you as a woman just like.
So
what?
That was it.
So in that situations, I've literally got the toy out myself. That's the situations why when you get like if I haven't got enough pleasure that I needed, like I've reached orgasm but I want more, I literally whip it out and then in front of that mate, and then they're like, holy shit, like I should have done.
Get the message.
Yeah,
get the message.
And then that's the cue card for next time. I'm sorry.
Exactly.
Nobody gonna get like without speaking, we can do things as well.
Literally, like men, it's in your advantage to pleasure her first, because, as you said, if we get turned off right at the start, we're not gonna be wanting things anymore.
No, honestly, like it's just
after that, it all becomes, can we get it done with?
Or you're lucky if she says, can we get it done with?
Yeah.
She's like me.
I don't want to.
Turn around, bye-bye, good night. Shivratri.
It was nice meeting you.
Good night. So, what are you like very sexually active in the morning or during like evening times? Because usually couples have some people have preferences. For
me, I don't think there's a specific time that I'm most horny, but I would say I'm least horny in the mornings actually, which is really bad for men because my boyfriend is always horny in the morning.
I think all men are.
Yeah.
How the morning would.
Yeah, but having said that, he's always horny everywhere. To be honest, like I just have to.
Most men.
I just have to go and touch him, and he's like, "Stop it! What have you done?" This is what he says. "What have you done?" Like, take responsibility for this. He just literally points at his hard dick and be like, "Take responsibility for this." Whatever.
Do you know? You see like things. Okay, like that's fair because he's your boyfriend, is that?
Yeah.
Like when people give lap dances, yeah. My concern. Obviously, men are hard, huh?
Yeah.
So how is that supposed to scare? Like, or sometimes there's like challenges on TikToks, and when you can't touch the woman, but she's actually grinding on you, like in the clubs or whatever. How do you not like stay hard? Like, how do you suck it in? What happens? Because I would really like to know.
Oh my god. We need men's opinions as well. We need men's opinions.
We need to really ask. So
but yeah, I'm like least horny in the morning. What about you?
I think I'm actually horny in the morning. So it works out. It usually works out great because they're always horny in the morning.
Yeah.
Everyone's always horny in the morning. But morning is my prime time. But I really don't really care. Doesn't really matter whatever time of the day.
But I think I would prefer having sex in the middle of the day in a hot country though. I hate, like, this is the thing, whenever in the winter we're having sex, I have to have the duvet on, okay, because it's too cold sometimes. And I'm like, obviously when you're in there, you don't really care, no? But you know, once it's gone for a bit too long, I'm like, can you bring the duvet over? I need to cover my legs, cover myself, whatever. That is why I don't, because I feel like that's a very unnatural way of having sex. Like, I would rather have like nothing on us, just a sheet underneath us, and just, you know, in a hot country, wet, sweaty, you know, that kind of sex. I would rather have that kind of sex. Yeah.
Hot, sweaty.
You don't like, you hate it?
I mean, hot, sweaty man is sexy. Not gonna lie. Hot, sweaty man, probably not. Because I'm not in the mood for anything they were in there.
Yeah.
But hot, sweaty man, oof, come through. Very attractive.
Yeah, hot, sweaty man, line up.
That's why I go gym reggae.
Oh my god. But what's been your, let's say what's been your funniest sex session or incident or whatever so far?
People walking into it.
People have walked in?
No, I literally almost getting caught, like this close getting caught. So yeah, that was funny. Like, they will not think it wasn't funny.
Where were you?
I was home, but they will not think it wasn't funny. But now that I think of it, it's actually fucking funny. Yeah. Then, you know, like, you're just like, they were like, oh shit.
People
like,
came home?
Yeah,
when you
people
were
came
in
home.
the middle of the deed?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh
no. The funniest one was okay, so it is still people walking in, okay?
Yeah.
A unico holds Mateo, and then so my partner then he and we were just like, you know, having sex, like walk like foreplay finished, like, you know, but like starting the most passionate heated part of it, and then the maintenance, that guy just knocked, and he just like knocked and sort of just opened the door, okay?
And the fact that your room was right next to the kitchen and the living area,
no,
and the front door.
It wasn't my room, thank God.
Huh?
It was his room, okay, in halls. But like halls, I don't know if you know, but most of the halls is UK uni halls. You have door, and then you have like ensuite bathroom. Yeah. They had an ensuite because the bathroom was literally there. So the bed was like where you couldn't really see. So that man just knocked and just walked in and to the bathroom gate. Obviously,
didn't you guys lock the room?
no, they had the master key. They thought we weren't home.
Oh.
They're like, knock, 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 and just fucking opened the door. We were like, oh shit. I was like,
What
my
was
clothes,
seen?
I was like, my clothes are too far to even put it on. So I was like, literally, duvet bitra. And then I think he had like underwear or something, and then he just wore it, and he was like, oh, man, I'm still in the house, okay. And he's just like, oh, okay, don't worry, then it's just be a quick run test. I'm like, bro, like, we're in the middle of...
There's somebody under the duvet there trying not to breathe so that the duvet doesn't move.
And then he's just like, I'm just trying to quick run test. And then the fact that I'm not even a small person to be hiding under a duvet.
I'm gonna say, most uni halls have single beds, don't they?
Yeah.
This was single
bed.
bed.
But luckily, so let me just put you a picture. So as you go through the door, the first thing you see is the window across here. So the bathroom is on the left, and the space after the bathroom is where the bed is.
Oh, so it was in that way.
So sort of they couldn't really see me, but obviously they could tell someone was there. It was just
your
awkward.
legs. Like...
But that was the funniest one. I think that was just too funny. And after that, we were just like laughing. It was just too hilarious.
Oh my god, that is funny.
Which one has to be yours?
My funniest was actually very recent. I think a couple of days ago.
Did you poop on him?
No, this is so funny. My phone is not here. I'll show you the text. Basically, so we had our friend's wedding, right? Recently, what was it, 9th?
Like 2-3 days ago. Yeah, the day when she didn't come to the gym. We thought she was studying, but
3 days ago, right? We had our friend's wedding. We all got drunk, and then by the time we got home, I was horny. I know. I was horny, and he wasn't that drunk, but he wasn't. I would say he was tipsy. Mm-hmm. But my boyfriend, he's so hard to get drunk, like rare occasions. So I wake up in the morning and I'm naked, right? And my underwear is literally at the bottom of the bed. And I turned around to him and I was like, I always joke with him, oh, did you take advantage of me one day? I know. I kind of play the victim. So, right, when you just wake up and you have no memory, not much memory of last night, but it comes slowly throughout the day.
You all been there, flashbacks.
So I woke up, right, and I was completely naked. And everybody was in the house, okay? His mom, his dad, his brother, they were all in the house, in their own rooms. And I was and he was naked, I was naked. And I turned around to him, like, me being, like, very defensive. And it's like, why is my underwear off? And I asked him. And he looked at me with, like, woman, you have that audacity right now? Kind of look at. And I was like, then he was like, excuse me? And I was like, why is my underwear off? Huh? Did you take advantage of me last night? And then slowly he was like, he told me things and I started remembering. So basically this happened. We came home. We went to the bedroom. Everybody went to the bedroom. And all I remember is doing this. So basically not even like asking him to take my clothes off, just telling him to, like commanding it, demanding to take my clothes off. And he said to me, it's like, when I changed and turned around, you were just standing there like this, as if come take my clothes off. Okay? So he helped me take my clothes off. And apparently I pushed him on the bed. Right?
What the fuck, man?
I pushed him on the and I remember it. So apparently I pushed him on the bed, rode him for 5 minutes. I was moaning. I mean, I remember him being hard. I was moaning.
What, were you like dry humping him, or was it like actually penetrating?
No, we were both.
Yeah.
No, like I was actually penetrating, riding him for 5 minutes. And I was moaning, like, did not even care what he was feeling right now, but I was just moaning by myself.
Didn't even care who was in the house.
They wanted home. And he had to kiss me to shut my mouth again because I was moaning that hard. After 5 minutes, I was like, ulti aayo. And then I slept on the bed, turned around and snored again.
So you left the man hanging?
I was like, babe, are you okay? And he was like, no, I'm not okay. you had your fill last night and then you left me unsatisfied.
What's that?
I feel so bad for him. And he was like, and you had the audacity to snore as well.
And then wake up and then say,
and then
"You
ask
took
him why is
my-
my underwear off.
Oh my god, I feel sorry for Divastai's brother at this point because his room is like next to him.
No, but his brother took headphones when we were just going into the rooms. Okay? So I think he had to speak to his wife or something. So I don't think he heard anything. I mean, even if they heard something, it's too late now. What's the point in talking about it?
Oh my god, this is actually hilarious.
For 3 days, I've been like, he's been looking at me. It's like, you had your fill. And that's it. That's all I hear.
Charam sukh mil gaya. Mera kidhar hai? But you could say this is how women feel.
Yeah,
Technically,
exactly.
है ना?
I told him, welcome to a woman's life.
है ना रे?
Oh my
You should do this often. Hi, bye.
Oh my god, my boyfriend's gonna kill me for telling this story again. But oh my god, every
But
time.
hey ho, it's what it is, isn't it? It's
Oh my god. I mean,
funny.
sometimes it be like that. You know?
Yeah. I mean, welcome to our world. Where we don't get something from men most of the time.
Oh my god, I can't. Honestly.
It's hilarious. But yeah, there you go. That was our podcast on our sex ventures and my extensive amount of sex toys.
Exactly. Shall we, to end this, shall we give these men some tips on where to touch a woman or not?
Depends on the woman. So I would just say consensually ask the woman. Touch one. Go to bed somewhere.
But clitoris is always a good place.
Good place.
To touch. And if you don't know what clitoris is, basically, if that's the penis, that's the vagina.
It's here.
Basically, if that's the vagina, right at the top here, if you open the lips, you will see some meaty, chunky part. That's the clitoris, and the area around it is the clitoris. So if you go to the top of the lips, touch it, suck it, vibrate it, this is always a good thing. You'll get the woman in some mood.
Yeah, pretty much. If nothing, if you don't get orgasm out of her, at least you get some sort of pleasure out of that.
Yeah,
and that's always a good sign. Not a great sign, but a good start. We don't like that.
Exactly.
Oh my god, that is hilarious. I can't. It's just too funny. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and hopefully we'll find someone who would like to share their knowledge on it as well.
Exactly.
And yeah, please do. Oh, actually, for our listeners on Spotify and I've run out of words now. I cannot English. My English is finished. To all our listeners, please do follow us on Instagram. It's sinergi.studio, sinergi.studio, for any inquiries or anything you want to message. Because obviously our podcast is called A Drink with Mary and Mina, but we are Sinerji Studio as well. Yeah. So our listeners may not know where to contact us because obviously our Instagram is Sinerji Studio. So please do leave your inquiries or comments or even give us ideas about what you want to listen and what you want us to talk about. If you have some topic that you want to know the women's side of, just give us a DM saying, can you please talk about this? I've always been curious about this. Or even send in questions and then we'll always tackle it, Exactly. And I think all women should browse into Love Honey right now, not sponsored. I would love to be sponsored though. They do student discounts as well, if you're wondering. Don't ask me why I know this. But with your men's card. Yeah, with the men's card, or your own. For centuries, we have been taken advantage of. Now it is our turn to demand pleasure. Yeah, so you can try a lot of this extensive range of toys and whatnot. So please go have a browse because you need to take initiative in your own pleasures. with that being said, we'll see you on the next one. Happy sex, safe sex,
Consensual.
consensual. Bye.
Bye.